meeting with Mary Claire and Kathleen, 14th of June 2019. It's 12:20. Now you can just ignore that being there.
Yeah.
So, Kathleen, tell me a bit about your background.
I came to work for Chris in, I think it was January 2006. I started off cleaning because we had contracts in Finnart. And it went from a part-time job to running the site. For I think I was there for maybe coming on 3-4 years. When they got a contract for Glen Douglas, and in that time I'd learned to drive. So I was then employed in Glen Douglas for must have been about 10-12 months, doing the cleaning contract up there. And when that came to an end, Chris gave me a job in the office. So I started off just answering phones and printing off health and safety packs, and gradually over the years, it's been 13 years I've been with them now.
Bit less for Nurdo.
Yeah. Just at a beck and call, giving the boys orders, as in order numbers for whatever jobs they were recording them, helping to do the firewood orders and the invoices, answering the phone, passing on the messages, ordering the fuel. Now it's moved on to what I do is I deal with their phone permits in Vaseline and Coalport.
All right, okay.
So I've sort of built up a good rapport with the base managers so that I can get things done quicker and faster than maybe the men can.
Yeah.
You know, so just the approach is a bit different.
Yeah.
You know, they want everything now, but that's not the way it works.
It's not how it happens, is
So
it?
because I've got a background in working in Vaseline, I know how things work. So that helps, and I just generally do whatever is required. If I have to jump and do some other job, then that's what I do.
Because you strike me as being like, if Chris is the face of the company, or if Chris is the brains of the company and Vinny's the face of the company, you're like the right hand of the company to me. Do you know what I mean? Like you're sort of like, you're on the phone, you're organising all the wee bits here and there, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like keeping everything ticking over.
But sometimes, just recently, because the business is accelerating, I feel that I'm losing that bit of control. It's not control, but it's like I'm not getting to know more about what's happening. Different people are coming into the company, and it took a couple of them, maybe I would say a week to 2 weeks, to realise that I'm not spying on them, but I'm actually trying to guide them in what way we work. As in, if you need something, phone me. I will get it organised for you. There's no need for you to panic and not know who it is you're trying to contact, because we know all the suppliers. I hold a suppliers list. They might want to use a company they've used before, and then I have to kind of jerk them back and say, but actually if you use this one, they respond far quicker, and if anything's wrong, they'll change it. So slowly, it took them a couple of weeks, and then they suddenly realised, well, instead of me wasting my time trying to chase down somebody, phone Kathy and she can get it.
She'll get it sorted.
So, but that kind of thing, you know, or if they're looking for something on the internet, then I'll scour the internet to see where we can get it cheaper.
So you're kind of like informal procurement, really.
Just try and do a wee bit of everything, but then some people appreciate it and some don't. So that kind of thing, you know. So and that's basically it. So I'm hoping in the foreseeable future to either cut down my hours, because I'm getting older now, and retire. But hopefully, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know,
so would that mean obviously the company's growing, right? And that means sort of like roles and responsibilities are going to develop and all that sort of thing. But I think sounds like you're in a similar situation to John, where you either thinking about retirement or you should be retiring.
Yes.
So that's good to know. That's something that needs to be taken into consideration.
Because I'm 62, so
that's that you got 5 years then. So it's a long time in show business, as they say.
It's it's sometimes you get tired, but and I know Chris is busy, and sometimes I feel at times like if you take messages or the clients, I deal with the clients, and normally the procedure is that they tell me a job's going to start. Now I try to guide them and say, look, if you're going to start a job, especially if their clients are older, you need to give them notice. You can't phone up at 8 o'clock in the morning saying you're starting. So I try to give me notice, or and then sometimes Chris is inclined to prioritise and say, oh no, not putting that job on, but I've just told the client you're coming. And then I have to go back and
say it's not happening, and then you're the one that gets it.
It's communication thing.
That's where we're badly lacking, is communication. That is, I would say, the worst thing we have. Is, Chris might not think it's important to tell us things, but when we're on the phone, somebody coming in screaming, "I'm not taking any call," and then if it's an important client, and I have to say, right, where do you want me to prioritise this? Who is it you want to take a call from, and who do you not want to take a call from? So that kind of thing.
Say we were to break the work down and break the company down into chunks, right? Would you, because it sounds like you do a lot of the firewood stuff and administrating the private stuff and all that. Is that something that you could comfortably see yourself taking ownership of for the next few years?
Probably,
because you're kind of doing it already, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just trying to look at, because even though you're retiring in 5 years and you might want to wind stuff down and things like that, that doesn't mean that you can't still grow. Do you know what I mean? So I'll move on to Marie Claire. So you're not getting off it. Can you give me a wee bit of your background?
I can't remember when I started the first time, because I've been here twice. So the first time was while I was off from school, and it was the cleaning up in Glen Douglas. So one of the people who was supposed to be doing it couldn't do it, so I took over for, was it 2 or 4 weeks? I can't remember. And then that was it. And then I properly came in 2012 in December, and it was while I was off work from college, off from college, for Christmas, and just coming in just to give them a hand, and I ended up part-time after that. And then once I finished college, I came here full-time, and I've been here ever since. And I've just been started off with the likes of the purchase orders, and just filing away the job reports and stuff like that after they'd been completed, once the jobs had been finished. And then I moved on to the sorts of the account stuff, so like the MasterCard, petty cash, purchase daybook, also answering the phones. And then Patrick and them started getting me to do the quotes for the private, and then now for the Amy Defence Services. And I've been doing the Sage accounts online, just the purchases, the sales, MasterCard and the petty cash. And then must have been the last year, Patrick gave me the Live-Echo account, so I've been keeping an eye on the Live-Echo stuff and all the orders. And
can you bear with me a wee second? Sorry. Hi Theo. Hello. Hello. Right, it's still recording. It's because I messaged him to be like, how do I set up my Surface Pro? Because we don't have a business Microsoft account and stuff, and I don't want to set it up on a student Microsoft account if it's something that needs to be kept like
Separate.
separate.
Is the Microsoft account different from the Microsoft Office one that we set up? Or is it the same?
Well, that's
Because
a
we
good question.
have,
You do is
Can I
it?
get it?
Yeah, of course you can.
Because Marie Claire does quite a bit, you know, and I think sometimes she stresses out because Patrick will come in and bombard her with everything. And
Yeah.
give me 10 minutes, try and do that.
Yeah, because it sounds like let me see what that is. Because it does sound like you do an awful lot, Marie Claire. Do you have like clearly defined roles and responsibilities and everything? What's your job title actually?
Admin assistant.
Admin assistant. Doesn't it
We all
doesn't sound like you're an admin assistant though.
But
Yeah.
she's been
And
to
then
college
when-
for.
I've done admin. I've done admin and IT in college. I got a HNC. No,
HND.
Is it? No.
HNC.
Aye. What the class is it a HNC and a HND?
Oh.
I think it
How
is
many years was it?
2, so I think it was a
The
HND.
HND, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been to a place called Kaplan, and I've done an AAT level 2.
Oh, what's that?
It's a
AAT level 2.
yeah, it's for in fact I never get the name of the course right.
And she does, if the PowerPoint, she does that. And whenever we were taking on bigger contracts, Marie Claire could show them how to set it up and all the rest of it and get all the roles down. So
that doesn't sound like an assistant to me, does it?
she's not, and she's she gets frustrated.
It's an AAT certificate in accounting.
She wants to learn more. And if something needs to be typed up in quick time, it's Marie Claire they come to.
Oh, you got a good WPM.
Apparently.
Because I used to be a solicitor back in the day. And because I done with you and Marcus. So you've got a huge amount of responsibilities there. Basically, any financial stuff that isn't being dealt with by Patrick is being dealt with by you.
Yeah.
And you're also dealing with quotes and things like that as well. Now, why would you be creating quotes when there's an estimator? And that's not me being like,
No.
yeah, that's
think
me just
it's-
asking.
I
Like,
think it's because I do the quotes for John. So John's
Right,
normally
okay.
off on site doing the work,
Uh-huh.
and then he brings it. If he goes to see a job and a client, he'll then, if it's a private job or for Amy Defence, he'll then bring the pricing sheet back to me that he's filled in. Then I fill in everything else and I write up the quote for him and send it off.
so it's just John's quotes.
Yeah.
John's
Normally.
and sometimes maybe Chris's if Rachel's not
Yeah.
there.
If Rachel's not in, I'll do the ones for Chris as well.
Are they quite simple quotes?
No.
No. they're
Some
not.
are. Sometimes what the hindrance is their writing more than anything, because they write so quick.
Scroll.
It's sometimes it's really difficult to read, and because they're writing the quotes on the back, sometimes they'll write it in a way that they understand it, but when it comes to the likes of me, I have to then go back and bother them to find out what it is that they actually mean that I'm to write for the client.
See, when we're done, can you show me one of the quotes when we're finished?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, because it's two separate jobs, really, isn't it? When you think about it, and it sounds like you've got a lot of training for financial stuff and accounting stuff.
Yeah.
But then you're having to tell me what the Microsoft stuff is and send me the Vodafone login and
Because
So-
I've got the book full of all the different passwords. And
the book full of passwords.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be gone. Well, actually, before I say that, do you think that would be there's a better system for that? Like, when we the last place I worked, we used to have a book full of passwords, and eventually what we did is we made a spreadsheet that was password protected, so that
There's only one password.
there's only one password to remember, and it got you into the spreadsheet, and it told you what all the passwords were, and it wasn't just a book that was lying about. So that's something that you think would be good, and then if we have a shared Google Drive,
Then
everybody
everyone
can
can
access it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that to Chris and stuff like that. It's something that we should be doing, but that might end up being something.
That's quite an easy thing to do.
It is an easy thing to do if it's all sitting in front of you, and it's better for sort of our
well, that's where the girls are good. I mean, they're good with the computers and all the rest of it. And every now and again, if something flags up on my computer, I have to shout and run in case I touch something and. What have I done?
Give me a second. He's just. Hi, Theo. Hello. Can you hear me? Hold on. Call you back in 30 minutes. I'd rather it wasn't 30 minutes. I'd rather Is this still recording? It won't be. Oh no, it is. Sorry. What were you saying? You were saying there.
Sorry. Included in the HND, I done like sort of PowerPoint, Publisher, and databases, and what's the other one? Did the likes of the Gantt charts and stuff like that as well.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because I've got a Gantt chart for this project, and I am afraid to use it. So
we didn't have the software. So we were just in here. We were just doing it on Excel. Just sort of.
Yeah.
But I've been trained to do it on the proper software as well.
How confident do you feel about doing stuff?
Fine, as long as people give me the information, I'll be fine to do the stuff.
And so Theo's talking a lot about how we need an army of administrators, right? Because we do. Especially as the company grows and as they sort of redefine the organisational structure and stuff, we're going to need a lot of administrators. So would you feel comfortable if you were like an admin supervisor or something, being able to I'm not saying that's going to happen anytime soon, but it's something that needs to happen, is that the people that are here need to kind of step up into new roles and guide the sort of the administrative operational staff. You need to guide them underneath you, so everybody needs to be prepared to sort of shoulder a bit more responsibility, but that comes with redefining what your job role is, so that you're not just a generic admin assistant, because it really sounds like you're doing a lot more than that.
I mean, sometimes she comes home and she's just stressed out her head, but it's a lot to do with, everybody's wanting a piece of her.
That's what it sounds like. It really does.
And
don't get me wrong, I don't mind. But I am I'm a stressed person.
Yeah. That's part of the problem, is not minding. Because I'm quite stressy and I'm a bit of a people pleaser as well. Before you know it, do you know what I mean? It's
everything's
6 o'clock on a Friday night and you've got all this stuff that you said you would do.
And we do. I mean, I make sure that there's always fuel up the top side to make sure there's that, and the passes, men's passes, and sometimes because a lot of them they're at work, they've got to do things, so I monitor when they're due up. Kevin takes care of the main side of it for the SC clearance, but if it's coming to just the yearly renewals, then I do that and pass them on to just say
The
to them,
people.
pull them, get them to sign it.
Yeah. So you sound like you're like operations admin, and you're like financial admin. If we were to really sort of like, but I know you both do a lot of other stuff as well.
Yeah.
So that what that says to me is there's a gap for someone to do the quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's their job. They do the
Yes.
quotes, and then there's possibly a gap there in terms of private and firewood as well, unless that's something that can be under the operations admin umbrella, but it seems a bit too diffuse for my
Yes,
liking.
because I take care of the firewood, but my problem is because the boys are out in the yards. When it comes to Friday, then that's when
There's no one there.
there's no one there to do it. I haven't got a guy to drive the van. I haven't got two guys to load it.
It's not even that though. We've not got the guys that are able to chop the wood either because they're always busy. So even if we had the time and the guys that would be able to deliver it, we can't deliver it because we've not got everything sorted.
So I had suggested to somebody that it might be good if we had a private and firewood team, and that's all that they did. And if they weren't out doing private work, they were here doing firewood, and that's all that they did. And it was maybe 2 or 3 guys. I don't know how many you'd need, but it would mean that those operations are always covered. It would mean that if Chris wanted to suddenly put somebody on something last minute, then you've got your private and firewood guys there. Do you think that's something that would?
I think that's a good idea.
It would be, because I mean that way.
Because our private clients, some of them have been waiting. We had one that was been waiting a couple
6
of months,
weeks.
6 to 8 weeks. They've been waiting, and because of the time of year it is, people are coming wanting quotes done, and they want the work done ASAP. Because it's getting into summer, they want their gardens to look nice and everything to be ready, which you can understand.
Yeah,
but we
haven't
can't
got
accommodate that right now.
Well, there's nothing wrong with making people wait.
No.
That's what you used to say in my old job all the time. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with making people wait. And if you wanted to wait until October before you decided that you lived in a cold listed house and that you wanted your windows done, then hell mend you. You're just going to have to wait. Do you know? Just like if you wait until the summer to decide you want your garden done,
Exactly.
That's it.
but there's a balance between hell mend you can wait and
we need to go round.
and I think people waiting 4 to 6 weeks for something's fine.
So I don't think that's too long.
But it's when you start to get over that,
Yes.
that's problematic. And I gather some people have maybe been waiting longer than that.
Yeah. We had one that phoned middle of the year. Ended up they kept phoning back and we're like, sorry, we just can't right now. It wasn't until the following year that people went, oh, we've not done that job yet. I was thinking, oh.
So is there no one person that has oversight for private and firewood stuff apart from you?
Yeah. And of course,
But
it's
if we can't get the guys and Chris puts them on
different jobs.
different jobs.
That's our problem. So.
It really sounds to me that like, because it sounds like the private and firewood stuff, because I've seen the financials and it doesn't actually bring in a huge amount, but it sounds like it's a bit of a flea in the ear, and that you really just need to allocate resource and just take it out of the main pool of operations.
That's it, because even the likes of it being a flea in the ear, it brought in over 12,000 one year, and that's somebody's wage.
Yeah, and that keeps you ticking over.
And that's what I said to him. I says, although you just cast it to one side, Chris, there are a lot of people out there that like it. We're cheaper than the rest of the places, but we haven't put our prices up on the firewood in about 5 years. And every time he goes to say, well, we should be getting, I went, no, up the service, and then you can put the money up. I says, right now, the only way we're still getting people is because it's down at that price. If you put it up £10, it still can't give the service.
Right, okay. So, because I think John had been saying that he'd been overpricing for jobs to try and get people to...
And still getting them.
And still getting
them. We've been trying to, not in a bad way, sort of put people off of it.
Just to put people off.
Yeah. So we've been putting prices up, and then they're coming to us, and it's
yeah.
like, what was all that for? So,
But you still put in it's going to might take. a
but
couple
now
of
we're
months to
telling
get there.
people, like, oh, it might not, it'll be about 3 months or like 2 months and a bit before we can actually put you on the system. And they're like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fine. But then when it comes to it, they're not very happy with it, with having to wait that long. But
Yeah, it is a balance, and it is sounding more and more like more apparent to me that operationally private and firewood needs to be maintained and managed by itself.
yeah,
And
Have
maintained and managed with a degree of professionalism and seriousness and stuff like that, because it sounds like it's causing a lot of hassle in the office, if you like.
Yes,
yes.
But it's not been given the credence that it deserves from ops, and that's a bit of a disconnect, because actually they're the customers that are going to phone and say that they're not happy. They're the ones that are going to be like hassling you to be like, when are you coming out, or the guys didn't turn up this morning. Your big corporate, big commercial, that's ticking over, do you know what I mean? So yeah, the private firewood, it's one of those ones you either need to get rid of it, but I get the feeling that nobody wants to do that because it's like the heart of the company, kind of.
Yeah.
So if it is, then keep it separate.
Yeah.
Keep it separate. Keep somebody dealing with it. Keep somebody in charge of it,
Yeah.
and off you pop. Like,
Yeah.
right. Okay. So you've obviously been here a really long time. You've been here for quite a long time as well, actually, in the grand scheme of things. How bad is the Chris factor? This won't go any further. This is only for me.
It's like sometimes you hit a roadblock, and you can't get any further.
Yeah.
He's dedicated to his job,
I get that impression.
but the only thing that's wrong with him, he can't let go.
The other
He
thing
has a
is,
hard job trusting, and sometimes he trusts, in my eyes, the wrong
You know,
people.
people. So he's been burned before then.
I think yes, and the bit of advice I told him a long time ago was keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Okay.
I said, because all these guys might seem great out there, cut your throats as soon as look at you for work, and we found that out. We have found that out. And kind of burns him a wee bit, frazzles him, but his baby is a QAB.
Yep.
sometimes I think he's solely more focused on like the QAB and the corporate side of things, and then everything else is sort of left behind.
And if that's the way it's going to be, then
that's the way it should
be.
Because that's, just let people know. As I say, I mean, it's no good holding that information all to yourself and not including, although he looks at it as family, and I'm thinking to myself, no, we work for you. We're here to help you. Family's after 4 o'clock. It's not during the office hours. And I would never ever cast that up to him, but we always try to home him back in and say, remember, have you informed certain people of what you're doing because of the land you're on and things like that. These people, have the right to so you have to be careful. But and off he pops, and then he'll come down and you'll ask about 5 or 6 times if you get the lads to go up and check to make sure that the fuel it's fine, right, okay. And then you get one of the lads coming down, Kathy, the fuel's under a quarter of a tank. And I'm like, oh, is it? But I did get told yesterday that this crisis out in the Gulf and Iran, fuel prices will be escalating, and that there could be a shortage. So my first priority is I just kept my mouth shut, and I thought I need to check the fuels because if we haven't got fuel, we can't operate. So and that's the kind of things that go on, and I'll come in and I'll say, how do you find out all this stuff? I know people. And it's the same with anything that's going on round about. I do know a lot of people, and I know about different things that normally they wouldn't tell other people, but because it doesn't go any further, and then I'll kind of filter it to the people that I feel that should
Yeah.
know about it.
Yeah. You're like
So-
Peter Mandelson.
Yes.
Bit of spin on everything.
Just happen to be in the right place at the right time. Ooh, is that right?
No, it's good to know because obviously I've spoken to quite a lot of people and they have said, oh, you mean Chris can be an issue in terms of communication, in terms of like wanting to keep things to himself and things like that. And I've only really spoken to Chris a couple of times before he's gone on holiday. But my impression is that he's very positive about the changes that this
Yes.
project
Yeah.
will bring.
Yes.
So, and my sort of thoughts are, if everybody's changing and everything's changing, then it might encourage him to change along with it because
Yeah.
there's no individual singling out. It's a mass sweeping change
Oh,
across
no,
the whole
That's
thing.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the way I'm sort of trying to think of it, and I'm also thinking of it in terms of I'm not a family member. I'm brand new. I'm actually not even employed by the company.
No.
I'm employed by the university, so I feel like I've kind of got carte blanche to,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what I see, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Try and work our way through it. Which hopefully you'll respond to well. So I don't know, but I will be looking at when I'm proposing a new organisational restructure. I will be suggesting that people like yourselves are given defined job roles, job titles, and you know what I mean, being responsible for training the people that are going to be underneath you. You know, and it's just making sure that you feel that you're you know what I mean, you're going to be happy to do that, really,
Yeah.
because there's no point me sitting here going, well,
No.
this is what I've decided.
No.
But it sounds like there's a little bit of frustration in the lack of defined roles and the lack of
It's like,
responsibilities. Well, actually,
the
there's no lack of responsibilities. Yeah.
well, what normally happens is Kevin, he does all the work packs, and then he emails me the work packs, and then I print them all off. But not a problem doing that. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. What does bother me is when I come into work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and Chris has put on a job, and the work pack has been an emergency work pack, and it's been done over the weekend, and the boys are standing there at 8 o'clock
Expecting it
expecting
to be
it to be
printed
ready,
off.
and then I'm trying to get my laptop fired up, and the bloody printer won't work.
Yeah.
It won't let me print anything off, and the only way I can print off on my printer is by shutting everything down
Yeah.
and then rebooting it, and then it starts printing.
Yeah.
And then you'd say, this is what's happened. It might only be a printer, but that printer stopped me from doing my job.
Yeah,
you know?
because it does sound like some of the tech we've got in here sounds a wee bit Stone Age.
Yes.
Yeah, that printer, that's...
And that printer is the best printer in the world. But it may be the best
it
printer in
picks
the
and
world.
chooses when it'll let you print.
But Rachel's got to try and use it because her printer won't let her use hers. Marie Claire's trying to use it, and then John's trying to use it, and Mackie's trying to use it, and then I'm going, I've got a work bag to go.
We got three new printers. Patrick got one, Rachel got one, and we got a new one. But if the internet's down or if something happens and one of the printers won't work, it's saying it's offline, we then have to convert back to that one, and then we're back at square one again, and everyone's trying to print off the one printer.
Right, okay.
So we're up
But as
against
again,
that.
it's the technology, it's the internet, it's
The internet's a real problem at the moment.
Yeah, that is. I do have ideas for overcoming it and sort of just going having 4G Wi-Fi instead of broadband, and I found a company that'll do it on a rolling contract, so that if something better comes along, we can change it. And it's not going to cost us. And actually, to get the same usage as what we're using just now, it's going to cost about the same. But actually, what we really need is 2 to 3 times the usage that we've got just now, because when it gets better, people are going to be using it more, and you know what I mean. So that's one of the big things I'm going to have to sort of take to Chris is actually this is an expense that needs to be made. and there's just no two ways about it. What was I going to say? How often does this emergency work pack situation occur?
Whenever the base,
Could be Coolport, could
Could
be
be Cool-
Fastlane.
and it all depends on when the
Even the
emergency
deliverables.
happens. Sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't, but then again, we don't get to know what jobs are happening at the beginning of the week. So
Could be as little as there's a break in the fence.
Mhm.
it's not even that. I mean, the work packs have got to be ready. I could have work packs ready, and the jobs don't go on, and then the
puts another
job
one on.
he'll put another one on, and Kevin will say, "But he wasn't going to put that on for a couple of weeks. It's got to be done now." So
So that's
then
Kev
Mhm.
has to do that, and then we have to then wait for that to come through. So the guys have to wait.
standing waiting
Yeah.
for the work pack. You know?
So a couple of things. Would a centralised diary and job booking system help with that?
I would think so.
Right, something online that everybody could access and look at, like My Office or something. And then the second question is, sorry, what
No, it's okay. I'll let you finish.
no, so my second point is, so there's an emergency coming on a Friday. The job pack's needed for Monday. Why does nobody come in at the weekend to make sure it's done? And I don't mean you. I mean,
Oh,
I mean
Kevin
management.
normally does it on a night time. Kevin will do it if there's if there's an emergency job come in. Kevin will spend the time.
Spend the time doing it. No, I
Yeah,
know that.
And
But
then,
then it'll-
he'll send it to me, and then I have to print it off first thing Monday morning when I come in.
Because
But I
he works
don't know
from
until I come in.
but you don't
first
know
thing.
to come in. So
Or he'll phone me the night before and say, when you get in, can you print that off?
because I'm just thinking, like, obviously, if you had better equipment and stuff like that, then it wouldn't be such an issue. What if you're, and I'm just spitballing here. What if your working hours were changed slightly, so you started at 7:30 and finished at 3:30 or something? Would that?
That would,
could accommodate.
that could-
Because it sounds like actually sometimes you need to have stuff ready for the guys, and if they are supposed to be off site by 8 o'clock to go, or off this site to get where they need to go, then why not start an extra half an hour early? Like, and I'm not saying
No,
you should.
no,
You know, I mean,
no.
nobody wants to be told that they need to start early.
No.
We used to come in between 7:30 and 8:15, and then we'd stay until 4:30, and then we'd go home. But
we never put it down in our time sheet.
Right.
no, it wasn't even that. We'd put it on the timesheets, and
um,
then Chris was saying, "You're not getting paid for that extra time." So then we stopped. We just started coming in at 8 because we thought, we're coming in, we're doing work, we're not getting paid for coming in that half hour early. So we thought,
So
we'll
we're
just come in at 8 and we'll finish at 4:30,
Yeah.
and then we'll go.
come in at 7:30 and finish at 4.
But then he picked that up as well because he wanted us to stay till 4:30.
Yeah. Well, that's something that needs to be addressed, because I think if you're having to rush out things sometimes,
Yeah,
then you really should be here earlier.
Uh-huh.
But you should either get paid for it or you should be finishing early. I mean,
Yeah.
and I don't know about you, but I'd be happy with either situation.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if something comes up and there's an emergency and there's a guy on site and we don't know where he is, and we have to try and go around everyone to try and find out where they are. Because Mum used to go up to the top site in the morning and she'd sit there and have a list and find out who was in and where they were, or where they were going, and that got stopped, and now we have no clue until Rachel's filled in the little sheet of paper saying where everyone is,
Yeah.
which then gets put online, but until that happens, we don't know where anyone is. So it's trying to find, and if
But
Chris
then
even
again,
gives
I
her the
can-
sheet of paper,
I can raise the contacts, and now and most of the boys, if they're in areas where they're not accessible, they've got mobile
Yeah,
phones,
it's
and
different
I know
there,
all the
but-
numbers off by heart, so that I can just ring them
but
up
it's
and
trying to
find out.
find who's with who.
I just phone the main guys and say, look, have you got so and so? It was Ali's
very
mum had, she's got dementia, and
She had that. Oh, she
She had.
something wrong.
she had to get rushed to hospital, so we had to get him off site as quickly as possible. The only problem was he was actually in a rock face at the time, so I phoned his charge hand and said to him, wait till he gets to the ground and tell him he must phone home now. Chris said, take the van and go.
But don't tell him
But
while
don't
he's trying to
tell
come
him
off the
while
wrong
he's
face.
coming off the hill. And I like to know where they are so that if I'm
anything,
dealing with
yeah,
an
of
emergency,
course,
that
of
I
course.
know where. And sometimes it's treated like your own
don't
game
need to
roses.
know.
You don't need to know.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking that it would be good to have a sort of system where everybody's clocked in. Do you know what I mean? So you know who's on site, you know who's here, you know who's out and where they're out, but it's all online. None of this Google Sheet stuff.
No.
Like it's all online. It's all done, and the guys are all trained how to use it, and it can be like an app or something like that that they use on their phone, or it can be an add-on to the G Suite that we've got. And to do that, so it's on our dashboards that will be on the company intranet, and it tells you where everybody is.
It's a good idea.
That would help, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it would. And
Yeah.
that way, I mean, it's just that at the time there was a lot of the guys, their wives were expecting and things like that, so they needed to know,
Yeah.
what was going on.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of better management of your human resources, isn't
Yeah,
it?
well,
Like,
that's it.
so yeah, so there's a few things there. What else was I going to say? Yeah,
I think we just what we've been doing is muddling in and just making sure everything kind of runs. And if they know, it's like one of the guys saying, gas is running out. You were told a fortnight ago to go and renew it. It's already in. Get over there and get it.
So there's, I mean, I guess if either of you were off sick, it wouldn't be a good situation, would it?
She goes, oh, thank God you're all back, Mum.
It's because you're trying to do everything that's on your list, plus try to do everything that's on someone else's list at the same time.
Yeah.
It doubles it, and then you've got to try and get it all done in a day.
And yeah, so just to ask both of you, like if the company was to get bigger, which it hopefully will, and it'll grow bigger and things like that, like where would you like to go? Now I know that you're going to be retiring in 5 years, so I can guess where you would like to go.
Somewhere sunny.
I think I see my role as just watching the company grow and the girls coming up because they're playing a bigger part in it.
Yeah, keeping things ticking over.
Yes, and I'm quite happy to do whatever they ask me to do. That doesn't really bother me, and I get on with it and pick up the slack. And just if I have to, I'm the one that runs out if we've got visitors or anything like that. I'll be the one that will just say, right, you remember you need to feed them.
Yeah,
and
make the sandwiches and stuff. Yeah,
so it's not about do that without being asked and just go out because he's got enough to think about, you know, and make sure the place is half reasonable, you know, because nobody else has got the time to lift a brush and shovel. You know?
And Marie Claire, you are potentially, you know what I mean, you could play a much bigger part in this then. So where do you want to go? What's your aspirations in the company? I know that's a big question.
I just at the moment I just feel like I'm sort of stuck, and like 7 years is quite a long time. But I just want to be able to sort of grow up like a bit. I wouldn't mind doing more accounts sort of stuff. I really wouldn't mind as long as I can feel, as long as I feel like I'm sort of growing a bit.
Yeah. And it doesn't sound. I mean, it sounds like your responsibilities in that have grown, but it doesn't sound like you've actually been given the career development.
No.
And would I be putting words in your mouth to say that actually this is the type of thing that would potentially make you leave?
Yes.
She doesn't want to say this. I'm not going to tell anybody.
I was looking.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? So.
Because she feels like she could do more, and she wants to learn more, and it's like she's getting held back because I don't want her to do
Don't get
that.
me wrong, I'm glad like Chris gave me the opportunity to like, he started off like just helping out, and then I got a part-time job, and then full time. So I am, but I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere.
Yeah, no, I completely not really understand that. I was like that in my last job, do you know what I mean? I was a marketing manager for 3 years, and I was supposed to be able to grow into like a, do you know what I mean, head of the marketing division and all that, and it never happened, and it was a lot of it was down to poor management from the CEO, and that's what happens. Like if people can't grow in your company, then they leave, and I don't think I think it would be so difficult to get a replacement for what you do that actually it's really important to make sure that you're satisfied and you're developing the way that you want.
Yeah.
So actually, I mean, I'm going to send a form out to everybody as well. I should probably say that. Everybody's going to get a form, and it's going to kind of have the same sort of thing that we've chatted about, but it's slightly more formalised, and it's just so I can kind of, sometimes it's good to have it written in front of you. But what sort of training and stuff like that do you feel like you could do in order to kind of help you grow?
I've done the digital marketing course. I paid for it myself. I was doing the next level up from that accounts one, but I didn't have the time.
And I think
is digital marketing something you'd be interested in looking into more? But there's another thing into it. Like it's sort of a wee bit diverse for what you're doing, and I mean, I would love to get say, oh great, you can do loads of digital marketing stuff because I get you hundreds of stuff to do, but I don't think that's necessarily right.
No, because I was doing the diploma in accounting, but I was having to take time off from here to go in. I was doing it from what they call it. It was.
Was that in the
but it was working from home doing it. I wasn't getting taught it from someone, and I didn't have the time from working in here. Going home, I don't want to stare at a computer screen. I don't want to do that. And at the time, yes, I wanted to do it, but then at the same time as trying to do that one, I got given the digital marketing one, and I thought, okay, that's good. I can do digital marketing while I'm here, and still continue, but it just didn't work out. So I just haven't been able to do it, and I have to pay for my exams. Every time I have to sit an exam, I have to pay for it, and take the time off to go up and sit the exam and then go home, because that day was then over.
And she was just stressing herself that much about it. I went, look, stop.
I couldn't
you don't
do it
have
all.
to do it.
Don't get me wrong, I really wanted to do that course. I just think if I was to do it, I would have to sit in a classroom.
So that she gets
distance learning, that's what it's called. I'd have to get taught it in a classroom with other people, so someone could watch me while I was doing it, so that if I had any questions I could just talk to them straight away. But apart from that,
so what about like accounting stuff and finance stuff?
I'd love to learn, because I did Sage in my level 2 one, but it didn't go into that much detail. So while I'm here, Patrick's been every month I've been doing the updating for the purchase day book and everything else, and I've been doing the ledger account stuff. I've been typing that up for him, and I would just like to learn more on the Sage sort of thing. Like I would like to learn how to do the wages properly. But
what's this factoring thing with the wages? Is this?
The factoring is for, the clients that we have that are from the base. And
did I say factoring?
No, you didn't. It's just somebody mentioned this to me this morning. Somebody mentioned
Patrick does the factoring.
Right.
And it's just like, it gets sent out and they pay us so much or whatever. It's operated through the base.
Alright, so is that why it's done then? It's because it's through the bases?
It's because it's such huge clients, and it's to make sure that we do get our money. It's just in case we come up against a client that's the bigger they are, they try to hold off payments. And some companies can wait 3 months for their pay, other companies can't, and it's to make sure that we don't get caught in that loophole as far as I know. But they've always had factoring. A lot of companies don't like us using it, but it's a way of making sure it means that Lloyds Finance chase them or whoever it is.
So Lloyds Finance are the factors?
I think so. I think it is Lloyds.
I haven't got a clue. I think it might be.
I think it might be them. And I think it's basically on, you know, like Babcock and
Galliford
Galliford
like that.
Yeah,
things like
because
that.
Babcock and Galliford Try, like they make up nearly 90% of their revenue for last year. Like,
Yeah.
so
And we always keep an eye on things that Nosy keeps an eye on. If we work for a new firm that we've not really heard too much about, then I go in and find out all about the company.
yeah,
So
as you should do, as you should do.
just
That's
doing
doing your corporate due diligence.
just watch them, and it's especially when it came to
Carillion.
ISS.
Carillion
Carillion
was a big one.
Carillion was a big one. I went back off the work for them because we know that
Yeah.
Something's
they're
gonna
having
happen.
problems
Yeah.
and there's something definitely happening in the wind, and then all of a sudden, well, Chris had kind of tuned on to that because they were wanting us to do wee jobs, but Carillion were wanting us to jump through hoops before we even got
They
it.
not
And then
also
they
want
were,
to wait 3 months to pay us
Yeah.
as well. They were one of the ones that wanted us to wait 3
Yeah.
months before they would pay us. And obviously back then we weren't exactly able to, well, we still don't like to do it that way.
No, it can be terrible for cash flow for a
Yeah,
small
exactly.
business. We would, the last place I worked for, we refused to work with Carillion because they're such bad payers.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
because we highlighted that earlier on when we were working with Carillion, and then they were just throwing. And Chris went, "No, we're not going down there." He says they want us to pay out X amount of thousands, and they're offering us a £200 job. No, so not that kind of way. So we keep an eye on things that way.
yeah,
So
and which people have to. Do you know what I
you
mean?
have to, because if you've got to pay men's wages, then you have to do that. Because I think she wants to learn stage as well, don't you? Go into college and get updated on
It doesn't
that.
even have to be college. Patrick found a course online that he's doing next week. I think it's next week, and he wants me to sit in and watch him while he does it, and then he's going to speak to Chris and see if he wants me to do it as well. I don't know about the second part, but he's definitely doing it. I think it's next week. So.
I mean, I
At
think you
least
should
the
just be doing it. I mean, I've already spoken to Patrick and said you need to start training your backups.
Yeah.
Because he does everything.
And that's you. Do you know what I mean? So you should be getting that training. Like, and that's another thing I want to sort of like instill is we should all be training our backups. Do you know what I mean? Because if you take one person out of the loop just now,
If something happened to him, no one would get paid.
exactly.
And no one would want that.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
And Rachel does that much too, because sometimes I have to say to Chris, like, just watch, you're piling a lot on her shoulders too.
What is it that Rachel does? I spoke to her like way back at the start, and I don't think I asked her.
She does a lot for the QAB stuff.
QAB
She
stuff.
does purchase orders, quotes, pricing, job reports. She does invoices. She does all that item stuff and all the stuff to do with vehicles, vehicle maintenance stuff.
So hopefully Darren will take care
Yeah,
of
that
that.
will
Darren's doing
Yeah.
vehicle stuff at the moment.
Yeah. So she just monitors all that, you know, doesn't she? But she does a lot.
Yeah.
And she drives factors on the Chris. And then you're like, I take it that was your dad. Yeah.
So one of the things that I was potentially going to suggest is obviously have a look see and see how receptive to change and actually changing behaviours Chris is. But if he wasn't going to change, we'd be getting him a PA, not Rachel.
Yeah.
And someone
Because Rachel
a bit
technically is
older,
acting
a
like...
bit bossy, take no shit kind of woman.
Yeah.
Just to, like, if you're not going to do it, you pay somebody to do it for you. Pay somebody to keep everything on the right track. Because I actually think you can waste a lot of time and a lot of energy trying to force people to be somebody that they're not.
Yeah.
When for the sake of 18, 20 grand a year, you know what I mean, whatever, do you know what I mean? Maybe even more, maybe more than that, do you know what I mean? A good PA, you know what I mean? If you wanted to be on call and stuff like that, then pay decent money, then that could be the person that just facilitates the whole thing, do you know what I mean? So, Jen, that's something that could work.
Oh, probably would.
I think so, because Rachel's technically acting like his PA.
Yeah, I know, and I got that impression, but I think it'd just be somebody that's not related to him.
Yes, and it'd probably be better for Rachel as well, because that's less stress on her shoulders too.
Because I had mentioned this at, to the university KTP partner and to Theo actually, and he was just like, I hadn't thought of that. That's a really good idea. And I was like, see, it's just not everything needs to be tech.
No.
Quite the opposite. So I was just wondering if you thought that would work. 'Cause-
Especially if it's not family. I think it's harder when it's family. But yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
I always got a mind's eye, the person, you know what I mean? Like in my head, do you know what I mean? Like, a bit like yourself, but maybe not so nice.
Oh no, she has her moments.
But that's good to know that some people who have been here for quite a long time think that that's something that could potentially be a solution. Because, like I said, if it is going to be an issue, then just take him out of the equation. So.
Because he's worked hard. He's worked hard his whole entire life,
and he's proud.
He's so proud of what he's done, and he loves what he's done. And I just say, don't speak to people like that. You weren't brought up to speak to people like that. You know, if I get on to, I think at one time I got onto him, and I came in here. He closed the door, and I said, "You don't listen." Sometimes I have to shout at you. You don't listen. So you've got to put yourself in our shoes.
Yeah. I know it's probably a bit arty-farty and airy-fairy and stuff, but like if we got everybody on a sort of communication, listening, you know what I mean, mutual respect type course or something like that, and everybody had to do it, or at least everybody in the office had to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Do you think that'd be something you'd be up for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I think it probably would be a good thing.
Because I'm thinking about asking the workplace innovation guys. I was at their training yesterday. I was thinking about asking them to deliver something in here to sort of instill in everybody that it's not just some specky boffin for the university going to turn up and change everything for you. It's actually everybody needs to change, and everybody needs to have an innovation mindset and all that sort of thing. So maybe a similar in-house thing about communication, mutual respect, professionalism, and all that sort of thing might be. You know what I mean?
Because I think a lot of people get stressed, you know, if they think nobody's listening or whatever, they get really frustrated and angry, and
Tensions flare.
And then you just get, and I just go, chill, just chill.
That's what I'm like.
Over your head. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Tomorrow's another day. It's another set of problems. We'll be fine.
Don't think about that. Yeah. Right, well, I think that's brilliant, and I also think people are going to start coming in for lunch. So,
yes,
no, we're done. We're done. No, we're done.
We're just done.
Nosy.
So.